We thought they were dead at 13-12 when Evan Mobley had already missed a few games with a knee injury. Then they lost Darius Garland. But the Cleveland Cavaliers did not allow their season to turn dark. As a matter of fact, they are fourth in the Eastern Conference right now, as it stands before they play the Milwaukee Bucks. How did they survive? What the hell is going on? The Donovan Mitchell trade rumors have gone silent. We're going to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Before I start, make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined. We talk things all basketball, from player breakdowns, team breakdowns, news in the NBA, or any other type of basketball-related stuff. Let's talk about the injured, but the surging Cleveland Cavaliers. So as mentioned, the Cleveland Cavaliers were 13-12 on December 14th. That was after the Boston Celtics game. They had played the Celtics on the road in back-to-back games, and Darius Garland broke his jaw after running into Kristaps Porzingis. And that was already on top of the fact that they did not have Evan Mobley for a few games after the Miami Heat game because of a knee injury that we found out later he needed to have surgery on. So the Cavaliers have been without Evan Mobley and Darius Garland for a little over a month now. I did a video when news broke. Both of them broke on the same day, that Garland would be out for a while and then Evan Mobley would need surgery on his knee. I made a video about how the Cavs season can turn dark really fast. But to the credit of the coaching staff and the players, the Cavaliers have survived. Not just survived, they have thrived. They have changed their identity and playing style. And really, it's been on the backs of Donovan Mitchell and Jarrett Allen, the two main focal points that we will start off with in this video. Since the Cavaliers lost Darius Garland on December 14th, Donovan Mitchell has upped his game. 28 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, shooting 33% from 3, but that's only taking into account the last few games where he shot like shit. But for the most part, he has just been every bit of the pull-up threat he's always been from 3. But more importantly, he's averaging nearly 8 assists a game. And before December 14th, when he had to share the backcourt, obviously, with Garland, Donovan Mitchell was averaging 5 assists a game. So not only has he upped his usage, he has upped his playmaking, and it has helped the other guys on the roster, guys we will touch on later because they have also been instrumental in this turnaround. And then, of course, Jarrett Allen, the other half of the front court of the Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen, twin tower lineup that the Cavaliers were trying to reconfigure this year and make it run smoother. Before December 14th, Jarrett Allen looked like he had pretty underwhelming numbers, but was really just trying to, find his way within the quartet, averaged 12 points and only 8 rebounds a game. But after that December 14th game, Jarrett Allen has been a monster again, and he's playing the best stretch of basketball in his career, including his time in Cleveland and in Brooklyn. Nearly 18 points a game, 17.9 points a game, 12.8 rebounds a game, 4.2 offensive rebounds a game, and shooting 65% from the field. But more importantly, he has also upped his playmaking along with Donovan Mitchell. He is averaging nearly 4 assists per game at 3.8, and the stuff the Cavaliers were doing early in the season, like leaning more into Evan Mobley as a hub because the Cavs did a lot of that last year. After about January of last year or so, they really leaned into Evan Mobley playmaking. They have done the same thing with Jarrett Allen, especially when Donovan Mitchell is off the court and Jarrett Allen is on the court. They park Jarrett Allen at the top of the key or in the foul line area, and he's hitting cutters with passes, dribble handoffs, because they have all types of movement shooters like Max Strus, George Niang, Sam Merrill, who I mentioned as one of my underrated role players when I did an underrated role players video. Jarrett Allen has really stepped up his game as the center, as the lone center in the starting lineup, because Dean Wade is starting at the 4, another guy we will also touch on briefly in this video. And Jarrett Allen has been absolutely fantastic, manning a Cavaliers defense that since December 14th has posted the best defensive rating in the NBA, and also they have a top 10 offense at 121.6 points per 100 possessions. That is 10th during that stretch. So Donovan Mitchell and Jarrett Allen have propped up this Cavaliers team despite losing two of their best players, and that's one of the benefits of having a quartet like Mobley, Garland, Mitchell, and Allen. If you lose two of those, you can kind of just fall back on the other two, and everything positionally around them trickles off of that and makes a little bit more sense. You got Dean Wade at the 4, and he's about 6'9", 6'10", but he can move his feet, and ever since he has put the injuries behind him, he had a really nasty shoulder injury last year. Dean Wade's been pretty good on the defensive end. He's big, he's long, and he's also making 40% of his threes this year on nearly 3 attempts a game. You got Isaac Okoro, who I have never sold stock on, even though it frustrates me that he doesn't take more threes, or there'll be spells where he doesn't take as many threes as I think he should, but he'll always attack the basket, he will always cut, he will always streak the lane in transition, and he will absolutely defend the hell out of the other team's best player. And Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro, along with Max Strus, who is a solid defender at the 2-guard position, have really helped out the fact that the Cavaliers have the best defensive rating during the stretch. Now, they have been playing a soft schedule since the Darius Garland injury, but just the simple fact that they are, one, killing the teams that they are supposed to beat, and also keeping it close with good teams and pulling out some of these close victories like the comeback win on the road in Dallas and things like that. One, it's a credit to the players. Two, it's a credit to JB Bickerstaff, who I have not heard any bitching about since early in the season, because it seems like every game is a referendum on JB Bickerstaff's coaching. I have friends who cover the Cavaliers, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. There just seems to be a nice synergy going on here. So let's move on from Mitchell and Jarrett Allen and the coaching, and let's talk about the other guys. I mentioned Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro. They've been great. I've mentioned Max Strus on this channel before this season. He has been one of the awesome free agency signings that have paid dividends immediately for a team. And then we go to the bench, which has added some players to the rotation, or not added players, but JB Bickerstaff has included some players in the rotation. Craig Porter Jr. really showed flashes early in the season. Then there was about a few week stretch there where it was like, why isn't JB Bickerstaff playing Craig Porter Jr.? And now he's been in the rotation consistently just because they need bodies. And Craig Porter Jr.'s played great. Sam Merrill has played great. He is shooting nearly 13 threes a game per 36 minutes. George Niang during this stretch has finally righted the ship again. He's shooting about 38% from 3 since December 14th and has basically just played his role. Karis LeVert has been awesome during this stretch as well, and has also aided in the playmaking department, averaging nearly 5 assists a game. But more importantly, is just somebody you can put in a closing lineup because he has some juice off the bounce. He's shooting 37% from 3, just somebody that can create a shot. We'll see what the Cavs do now that Tristan Thompson has been suspended for performance-enhancing drugs, which kind of makes sense because I thought he was looking a little spry coming back to the NBA and coming straight out of the ESPN studio. I was like, Tristan Thompson is kind of defending the switch a little bit better than what I remember. He's kind of looking like 2016 playoff run Tristan Thompson. Now we kind of know why. So there's that. We'll see what Damian Jones brings. But the bench for the Cavaliers has just been incredible. Here are some numbers that I will put up on the screen. It basically just illustrates how, as a whole, not just sticking with the bench, the Cavaliers have kind of changed their philosophy. They are launching a bunch of threes. They have now introduced the variance that comes with three-point shooting and taking a lot of threes. And the bench before December 14th was 26th in scoring, 23rd in assists per game, 23rd in three-point makes, and 22nd in three-point attempts, along with being 24th in three-point percentage. And they were a minus 3.1 just net rating-wise, which was 27th in the league. Since the Cavaliers lost Darius Garland after the December 14th game, the Cavaliers bench is averaging 47.6 points a game, third in the NBA during that stretch. Nearly 11 assists per game, seventh in that stretch. 8 three-point makes a game, which is easily first. 20.1 three-point attempts per game, clearly first. They nearly doubled up their three-point attempts. 39.9% from three, which is third. And the Cavaliers bench since December 14th is a plus 4.4 net rating. The Cavaliers bench has been spectacular, and they are absolutely dominating other second units. Craig Porter Jr., steady play. Sam Merrill, steady play. Movement shooting. Just opens up the playbook if you're a coach so you can leverage his shooting. He moves like Max Strus. And I asked my buddy Evan Damerel, who covers the Cavaliers for his independent website, Write Down Euclid. I asked him, because I made the assumption in my role players video that Sam Merrill, I assumed, worked out with Max Strus. Turns out I was right. Turns out my hunch was correct. And apparently they share the same agent. And Sam Merrill has referenced Max Strus as somebody that he's kind of molded his game after. I knew my hunch was correct. George Niang has righted the ship after a slow start to the season, shooting 39.4% from three on 6 attempts per game. Has been awesome for the Cavaliers. Karis LeVert, like I mentioned, the extra ball handler off the bench, the guy that can provide extra juice, he's been an underrated 6th Man of the Year candidate. The Cavaliers bench has been spectacular. I forgot to mention that during this stretch, the Cavaliers have a plus 10 net rating, and that is because the starting lineup of Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Isaac Okoro, Dean Wade, and Jarrett Allen has a 124.9 offensive rating, a 105.4 defensive rating, and a plus 19.5 net rating in over 380 possessions. The most played lineup because, again, the Cavaliers have kind of had to play this lineup a lot with no Garland and Mobley. And then this bench unit that I am talking about comes in and extends the lead, whether it be by 2 points, 4 points, or 6 points, or sometimes just blowing the doors off the other team's second unit, because they are just shooting the lights out, sharing the ball, shooting the hell out of the ball, and playmaking for each other. This Cavaliers team has not only survived the muddy waters of losing their 2 best players, or 2 of their 4 best players, they have thrived